All right, boom. Okay, so welcome, guys. I'm Chris, and I'm with Matt for tonight, and we're
Hi.
here because something happened with our scheduled talk, um,
Mm.
and we've decided that it would be more exciting for all of you if we
Mm.
were to move it on a later date. Now,
Yeah.
for tonight, man, we've just decided to do the unthinkable, and what do I mean by the unthinkable? We'll just um randomly talk about
Mm.
random shit.
Yeah.
And you, the audience, can actually join us live as well to join the conversation. Okay. And if
Yeah.
any of you know me, there's no censorship when it comes to, when it so long as the conversation and the topic makes sense. I'm not that type of guy to censor anything. So, Matt, let's start with this. How are
Yeah.
you, man?
I'm good. A little background of how I usually take my days is that I usually read and write or listen to substances like um, blogs and podcasts that sounds like um, mental education, like how do I perceive things that happen to me, because I change how I look at things, and that usually makes me feel better inside, or something more unique that I can use and utilize to just change my approach to things. So every day I do that, so more or less every day is a good day because of perspective. So yeah, how are you, man?
Me, I went nuts, right? So
Hmm.
my recent trip to Boracay was very stressful. So I decided now, you know
Hmm.
what? I don't want to stay around in my place, and I decided to, you
Hmm.
know, get my family, drive 4 hours away from the city,
Hmm.
and go to a random place, right? So right now I'm in
All right.
Barbasa Antique, and it's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy, right? So yeah, right now, how many of you watching us tonight? Um,
Hmm.
and I'm just saying this. I really don't know where this is going, right? But if you guys want some free coaching, um, join our link in the comments and basically ask us any question you'd like, or else we are gonna
Hmm.
freaking what's the word I'm looking for? We are gonna keep asking for. And hello, Miss MJ. You're for
Yeah.
commenting. She commented in my profile. So
Hmm.
yun. Anyways, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So how many of you would like some, coaching, or even better, how many of you would just love to um solve stuff, or talk
Hmm.
about random stuff? So just join us for tonight. Um so ooh, a stranger knocked on our door. That's interesting at this hour in this place. Anyways, how many of you have um so yeah, man, you've talked about Peterson way
Hmm.
before we've um we've gone live. Anything
Yeah.
this guy said that you wanna share to the audience?
Yeah. Um, so firstly, I think that our minds are colored by the impressions of how we see things outside and feel things. And we naturally adjust how we move or cater to our feelings, because it's actions we're doing outside. And for me, I'm addicted to the type of actions that make me feel advantageous with my work or whatever. And what that means is just that, like, I like learning how to be different in a good way, and in a good way feels like answering the call to the to, to the job, I guess. Like, like how do I transform myself into somebody that can cater to the job appropriately enough or greatly enough? And what's been evident to me and what I've seen in my life is that whenever I do, attempt to do something like that, I find myself sometimes over exceeding the, I don't even put a limit, but I find myself superseding expectations I didn't even set. And that's just to say that because I found that it's evident to me that I was just interested in it, and interested in it looks like, you know, I'm in love with what it means, like what the work meant, like what it meant to hit, or whatever, in terms of understanding, because it's all about understanding. And it led me to be very enthusiastic. Like I fell in love with understanding multiple ways to answer the calls to anything. And what I found, yeah. Oh, you're on mute, man. You're on mute. Yeah,
I'm
go for
on
it.
mute.
You
That's
were cheap
funny.
on it.
Yeah, that good
Go
catch,
for
man. Good catch.
it.
What I find very funny is the whole concept. What you just mentioned is actually um the
Mm,
opposite, or if not, it may not even be the opposite, but it's something
mm,
that is not quiet quitting. If have you heard of that term
mm,
lately? Right. So
right.
businesses all over the world are having problems with their team members and staff
Mm-hmm.
quiet quitting. So and at first I was like, what the heck does quiet quitting even mean? Yeah, right. Um,
Mm,
and then as it turns out, quiet quitting actually means um, it doesn't mean the staff or team member went AWOL, right, or just disappeared and never came
mm,
back to work one day, right? Quiet quitting means that they don't go the extra mile
mm,
when they work. And I
mm,
mean, okay, so why is that an issue, right? The first thought in
mm,
my head, okay, why is that a real issue
mm,
for um for businesses? Okay,
mm,
so I'll share my thoughts later on,
mm.
more on that. But what do you think, man? As
Yeah.
someone who always goes the the extra mile.
Mm. I think that I found that if, and it's very delicate, right? Like whenever I feel like I'm supposed to do something tasked to me, or whatever I put myself through in life, like I got objectives to do. Like I mean, I'm a working human being. Like I like I'm naturally finding ways to be useful, and the way I'd like to be useful is like, um, I think I'm answering to many solutions and problems. Like it's so hard to explain, but I think I wouldn't let down myself. I don't think that's an option. So letting down myself looks like I'm not even trying. So, but the words of quitting are floating around my head, maybe, but I know for sure behind those is like saying you should at least try. And there's no specific number how many tries, just as long as I can feed that feeling like I've done enough. But to be honest, along that way, middle part maybe, I find myself actually enjoying it a bit. But if I can hold on to that enjoyment for a bit more, I think I could do wonders with it, because I'm very enthusiastic after that. And with the vigor, like I could probably make it look greater or whatever, just by how I feel about how I do. So I think it's all about how you feel about what you do, like, because those feelings will either ignite you or fry you up, like like or nothing, burnt like a
Yeah,
match.
yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
Mm,
um, not everyone goes and gets a job because it's their life,
mm,
it's their life's mission.
Mm.
Not everyone stays in business because that's the kind of business they want to do all their life. Sometimes they're there because it's
Mm.
profitable. Now,
Mm. Yeah.
um, and I can see, and I just wanna, for now I just wanna ground on the term quiet
Mm.
quitting,
Yeah.
um, because well, and I can see people, right? I can see people because
Mm.
there's this huge movement even before the term was coined. There was this huge
Mm.
movement for um, personal development. There was this huge
Mm.
movement for
Yeah.
healing. There was this huge movement for putting yourself first,
Yeah.
right? So, and what
Yeah.
most people got from this is putting myself first means I shouldn't put 100% of my effort in work or
Sure.
business because I still have family, because I still have my physical health, because I still
Yeah.
have my spiritual journey slash
Mm.
meaning I'm looking for, right? That's
Mm.
the thing that how they justify not going the extra mile. Um,
Mm.
However, like what you just said, right? How does
Mm.
it feel? What does it feel right? And
Mm.
can you actually allow yourself to
Mm.
not go full out every single day as you work,
Mm.
etc., etc., etc. And I think there's something wrong with that. Um,
Mm.
not because quiet quitting is bad, but because people aren't really seeing the bigger picture. And what is the bigger picture for me?
Mm.
Right. So for me, quiet quitting is just a freaking symptom that both the employees and the employer are not aligned with each other's goals and needs and wants.
Mm.
So the reason why the team member or the staff
Yeah.
is quiet quitting is because they don't see any real value that the company or the workspace is giving them that can actually help their personal
Yeah.
life. Diba? So what do you think about
Yeah.
that, man?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for somebody who's looking for personal uh, space, spiritual growth, I think they should be with you, Chris, man, because you offer those things and growth in multiple ways: communication, how to be a good communicator with many avenues you have in mind that you are good at. So I think if people, human beings like you, find you, but they're in a bad space right now, I think they see goals answered with you. So they
Thank you.
either work for you, yeah, no problem, man, and learn from you because you've done so much and they know they can learn so much too. So, yeah, alignment with the right people slash human beings. I like to call them human beings with different tastes.
Human beings. Yeah,
Mm, yeah,
it's quite interesting. Well, one, thank you for saying that.
yeah. Mm, no problem, man.
Um, and two, right? It, it would also suck though if everyone
Mm,
else. I mean, the scope of one person is also very limited. For example, right now,
mm,
we're organizing Cash Flow 101, right?
mm,
Despite having a national community, I can only
mm,
organize it in Iloilo for now,
mm.
right? So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting notion. So more than that as well, I would encourage people to also seek and become the okay, instead of seeking greener pastures,
Mm,
become the greener pasture themselves. So
mm.
It's because
Yeah.
unlike pretending to be a cow that you're able to just go somewhere. I think it's
Mm.
more rewarding if you're able to become the soil that grows the grass,
Mm.
that attracts the cows, that want to stay there. So it's more meaningful. And of course,
Mm.
there's a debate, right? What if what if you don't have your why? What if you don't have your purpose? Um, what if I just want to survive right now? I don't even want to think about all of that stuff. I mean, that's all very valid,
Mm.
you know. Um, but the thing is, I also believe that if you just focus on survival
Mm.
or providing for yourself, um, a lot of people cannot provide for themselves because they're too busy
Mm.
chasing that instead of meaning, instead of
Mm.
purpose, instead of um, making or becoming the greener pasture for everyone else, right? I'm also not
Yeah.
saying that because you're a saint. um I
Yeah.
People know that I do not I well, most of the stuff I do has good intentions, but not all of them. For example,
Yeah.
if I become president for a day, it 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 will be a bloody revolution, just saying. But
Yeah.
that's a different thing, right? But for some reason, me and and the French have one thing in common, right?
Yeah.
Um, Me and Napoleon Bonaparte are short. I'm joking.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Just rambling stuff at this moment, man. Um,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
But yeah, I agree. I was just thinking about this earlier, this afternoon, what you said, Chris, man, about attracting what people crave for in survival mode. You have to be the grass that they seek. Now, that can be in different ways in life, different niches, different markets, different
Yep.
purposes. So, yeah, I think understanding those first then caters to your needs in life, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. And I agree 100%. I mean, for people to get their needs, they have to give value, right? They have to give value,
Mm.
and if you don't know the kind of value you want to give away,
Mm.
the world will choose for you. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's the kind of value that just drains you out of life. Now,
Dreams.
knowing who you want to serve, knowing what sort of value,
Hmm.
or at least having the intention to serve a
Hmm.
particular group of people with a certain set of values will actually help you
Yeah.
narrow down a lot of pain points
Hmm.
in life, right?
Yeah.
Will give you the rewards and narrow down the horrible and painful experiences,
Yeah.
so that the only things left are the relevant ones for your growth. So yun.
Hmm. Yeah. I like that a lot. I think that takes a lot of energy from people's life, but it shows the more rewarding it is to be able to find meaningful things to provide other people with. And those look like for the mind.
Oh, you might know this person, man. This is my um Godmother, Tita, Tita
Oh,
and
really?
Godmother. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think she knows you. Is that Matt? Yes, it's Matt.
Yes, that's my mom's friend. Hi, Tita Weenie. Hi. Hi. I didn't know you watch Chris. This is really nice.
She's my godmother. So
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
Hi again, Tita.
yeah, which is
So
interesting.
yeah, I think people can get those ideas in around people who are either leaders. You can find many examples in spaces that ring a bell, maybe to you. Content wise, maybe people that your soul, heart, mind, body improvements, worthwhile people following, actually.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
and I just want to emphasize that as well, right? Um, Sometimes
yeah,
there's this thing called the tug, and the tug is
mm,
it's like the universe or God or whatever you
mm,
believe in guiding you towards something,
mm,
and sometimes it doesn't make sense. Um,
mm,
but one of the best stories that I can share with this is
mm,
that when you're out trying to give value, sometimes you give value
mm,
by learning, right? By learning, by
mm,
experiencing, by exploring,
yeah,
sometimes even
yeah,
by being selfish. You know, um,
yeah,
we've seen sinners in the past become
yeah,
great leaders after they redeem themselves. Now,
yeah,
by following the tug, what happens is that sometimes things don't make sense at that point
mm,
in time, right? Because the tug might send you somewhere where, oh, it could be as simple as, oh, let's enroll in in this class, or it could be something
yeah,
like, oh, the tug is sending me to say hi to this old lady, or it could be
yeah,
something like, um, you learning how to draw, right? In the case of
mm,
Steve Jobs actually cut class to learn calligraphy,
yeah,
and calligraphy, like you know, the whole
mm, mm,
pen zen thingy. So he learned calligraphy,
mm,
and because of that, the the
yeah,
machines that we use, the computers that we use, became something that wasn't sexy to
wow,
something that was very creative and
yeah,
very beautiful, right?
mm,
Before before the Mac was made, the computers were bulky.
yeah,
Only businesses can afford them. The moment that Steve
yeah,
Jobs started creating the Mac had beautiful typography, so people could
mm,
decide what font to use. And right now we take that for granted,
mm,
but in that time and age, that was something else
mm,
entirely, right?
yeah,
So I don't know about some people, but well, when fonts affect the way I read things,
yeah,
and fonts affect the meaning behind the words that get absorbed,
hmm,
right? So it's crazy. So, you know,
yeah,
learning calligraphy, who knew, would make you a billionaire?
who knew?
Who knew? Yeah.
Wow, ways to find meaning.
Also, good evening, Claire. It's been a while.
Good evening, Miss Claire. Charity. Hi. Yeah, man. That's very interesting. Where interest, deep interest, is found, maybe meaning in calligraphy, then your other works find source in them, in those other interests. you have. They bridge the gap to find an answer for whatever you are seeking, maybe known or unknown, is answered, which is interesting. And perspective wise, encourages people to try that interesting thing or things. Maybe they'll teach you or guide you to something you want to happen
Or something that
or do.
hasn't even that does, or lead you
That
into creating
too.
something that doesn't even exist yet.
Power. Yeah, in that sense. Wow.
I mean, look at the stuff, all of the stuff that we're taking for
Yeah.
granted right now, man. We live in a
Mm,
world where anything we want, almost literally anything we want, we can
mm,
order online. I
yeah.
want a notebook that is reusable, and
Yep.
I got a notebook that's reusable. And when I say reusable, it's cloud, it's smart. When I write something,
Oh,
it stores itself in the cloud. When I want it
wow.
erased, I just put it in the microwave, or
Mm,
wipe a wet cloth. It's crazy. You
really?
know, stuff like that exists. The mic I'm currently
Wow.
using, this thing,
Hmm.
if I'm 250 meters away from my computer, you can still hear me talk.
Wow.
You know, and I just ordered another pair earlier today, right?
Hmm.
Um, if you want a machine that sells and acts like a marketing guy for you, it also
Hmm.
exists. It's crazy. Um, and we take a lot of that stuff for granted, and I think there's also
Yeah.
opportunity there, right? In a very fast-paced world where everyone is
Hmm.
so busy reacting to events that are happening, the person
Hmm.
who can slow down and see the value of
Hmm.
of of slowing down can can actually earn a lot of money if they turn it into a business. So
Hmm.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Slowing down and seeing ways that people don't see, and you see that you can apply it maybe to something you do or can be done that's helpful to people, human beings. Maybe that's a recipe for success.
And a thought just occurred to me as well. I mean,
Hmm.
we see we see life, right, in a particular way in time, right? So that means,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna go meta right now. So, and I'll
Yeah.
probably end the live here. So
Hmm.
um if you're able to see the world both faster than what it is, meaning you're able to see trends and predict what
Hmm.
and make assumptions and predict what happens forward,
Hmm.
right? Or you can slow down what is happening in the present, so much so that you're seeing details that people who are not paying attention are seeing. Then
Hmm.
you are more, um what's the word I'm looking for, you are more real than
Hmm.
everyone else that that has, that doesn't
Yeah.
have the same awareness as you. So um, I think I'll end tonight's live there,
Mm.
and see you guys.